I want to add some pop to it.
That's how you know it's going to be a good beer.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Abyss.
Welcome
Another
back.
Glorious, hot week.
Yeah, we're from Utah where it's 104 degrees right now outside.
It's very hot. Very, very hot. But to cool us down, we've got a good old Husky IPA from Alaskan Brewing Co.
Ooh, 7% alcohol by volume. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's good. And it's themed because Husky, Alaska, Iceberg. We're doing the Iceberg
I love
again.
it. Okay, I see what you're doing there.
Tier 9, Part 1. But before we jump into the Iceberg, it's an especially good day in the Abyss because we have a new paid subscriber.
Yep. Hang on here. Pause.
And
where the fuck did the Buzzsprout go? Like, legit. It was right here.
You already have it open.
I'm on crack. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on crack.
Okay.
Supernatural Tessa. Thank you very much for the follow. And they sent us in an email, so we'll go ahead and read that off. But again, thanks for supporting the show. Truly awesome.
Tessa has decided to give us $5 a month, and you guys can too if you follow our link in the description page if you want to support the show financially. We'll appreciate it. So Tessa writes in, "Hey guys, have you ever delved into the subject of past lives?"
We have.
Yeah, it was like our second episode. However, maybe we should redo an episode, not like exactly it, but we've just gotten better at it.
Expand.
Yeah.
And on that, because I guarantee at that point we didn't have the spirit box. So we can actually talk to those who have had a past life.
Yeah. She writes, "I have an odd experience in which I would love to share. As a kid growing up, I would stay with my dad and his parents, so my grandparents, and they lived in this huge red brick house in the middle of nowhere in Oxfordshire.
Wow.
It was so old it still had an outside toilet. So my mom used to talk about that when she lived with her parents. They had an outside toilet. The front garden was lined by bushes, and right in between the bush and grass, the ground sunk in, and this happened all the way in a straight line. Now, when I was 13, I had this strange dream of watching a soldier walk across the field from my bedroom window. I watched him get hit by an arrow right in the left hip near the cheek. It was so vivid, it woke me up. And the strange thing, this man looked like me, especially in the eyes. And the other weird thing, I have a birthmark on my left hip right near the cheek.
Dang.
I walk like I march. I don't know if this could be, but I have always found it rather odd. Quick side note, I am going on a cruise in September, so I'll let you know if I witness anything weird."
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she replied to
talked about our cruise
episode. Yeah. "I think the subject of past lives would be very interesting, and there's loads more stories out there. Keep it up, guys. Tessa."
Wow. Thank you very much, Tessa.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about the past lives, we were mentioning that birthmarks were an indicator of how perhaps you died in a previous life. So maybe that's what happened.
I have a birthmark on my wrist right there.
You died from a wrist injury?
I guess. Isn't that so weak? Dying by a wrist injury?
Well, maybe a snake bit you, man. A poisonous snake. Think about that.
Okay.
You went to shield yourself from the snake.
You know what? I like
Hit you right in the wrist and you died.
That. I was saving my family from a 60-foot snake.
So you were running.
Got me right on the wrist.
You were running out of a brothel, dazed and confused.
Okay.
Just kidding.
And I just fell in a snake nest.
It's like the worst story ever.
No, I like it. I'm going with it. I'm going with it. But yeah, again, thank you, Tessa. Thank you for the personal story. I think that's the first. No, it's not the first. We've had a couple. Thanks for the paid support. We'll definitely put it to good use. On the note.
Yeah, one of our viewers wrote in our last episode on YouTube, you can view this, he challenged us to go to the Clown Motel in Nevada once we hit 500 subscribers. And, me and Britton, we talked about this, and I think we're pretty much on board.
Oh, yeah.
I think that should be around the time where we get some video equipment running.
Yep.
And, we'll pull out the Ouija board, the spirit box, the spirit rods.
And stay overnight.
We're going to raise
Clown
hell.
Motel.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. But there are some prefaces, right? They did say 500 subscribers. We're not quite there. So we do need your help. We're at what, 330, give or take?
Yeah.
So get us out there, right? Talk about us. Get those people out there who like spooky shit, who want to see us sleep in a clown motel. We will film it. You guys can watch our whole journey. But I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. You guys are going to love it. I think we're going to love it. Anyways, let's jump into this conspiracy theory iceberg.
So we are starting episode 1 of Tier 9, which is classified as Man of the World. So we're now Men of the World. The final understanding is so close you can almost feel it. At last, you ascended, leaving behind all the conspiracies, all the mysteries, all the known and unknown. Finally, you can see past the iceberg. So, I think that's...
We're in the murky depths of the ocean right now.
So, I don't know. Have we hit the gooch yet?
We're close to the gooch. We can smell it.
Oh, God damn, this iceberg smells a little funky. Okay, but yeah, let's jump into it here. We're almost done, folks. I think we got 3 episodes left, including this, so 2 more, and thank God for that. Okay, so I'm going to start with something called the Despair Code. The title on this is fucking intense, the Despair Code. And at its very core, it's tied in with several brainwashing or mind control theories that we've discussed in prior tiers. We've also talked in prior tiers about coding, even in one's brain, like the source code. If you find the access code, you can infiltrate or rather control a person, yada yada. The Despair Code is just that, but for every person in the world. The reason this theory has despair in the name is that it's theorized that if a certain string of words or phrases or even numbers is used, it can cause the person to feel depression or even death. As with many theories, the thoughts behind why this exists is a form of total population control, seeing that an entire population could be wiped out if this code were to fall into the wrong hands. While perusing the internet for this topic, I came across the code, which is reportedly 3223412. So do you suddenly feel depressed or anxious or death?
I feel bad, man.
Okay, well, I apologize. If anyone felt something while reading that code, I'm sorry, but that's the code, the Despair Code. It's also theorized that the code can generate, or rather portray a picture that is abnormal and cause a weird feeling of existence. It's really hard to describe, but have you seen a picture online, Cleet, that like when you look at it, you just kind of have that feeling of like disassociation? It's like, could be like a weird mixture of colors or shapes or whatever that you look at it and you're kind of like, what the fuck is that?
No.
Lucky you. I can't recall exact images, but there's a couple where like you just stop and look at it for a minute and you're like, that makes me feel some kind of weird way.
I've seen some creepy pictures online, but who hasn't?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a couple people. We just go to weird places on the internet while we're researching topics.
KermitTheFrog.jpg.
Yeah, don't do that. Some of the writings from Lovecraft have actually been loosely tied to this code, as he writes about things like the old gods and such that leave traps or mines that when viewed by people causes them to have a weird feeling.
It's incomprehensible. I went mad just looking at the image.
Yeah. So that's the Despair Code. It's just a code that's going to make us all go nuts. And next one, Big Soy. I think we've beaten this topic a little too close to death in recent tiers.
They're giving men boobs.
But it's a culmination of all the other soy-related theories that we've covered, like the weaponized soy and population control and yada yada. But this is the Big Daddy Soy theory that there's a New World Order group that's working together to keep the entire population of people subservient and in line as a means to make sure we all behave the way we need to behave and don't ever step out of our lanes. This small group of people can control those in power to keep the population in a relaxed state, making them feel like they don't need to protect themselves. They'll be protected by others, etc. So it's just a mass complacency idea. And last, before I pass it on to Cleet, is Dr. Emoto's water experiments, or sentient water. So Dr. Masaru Emoto, a Japanese businessman, author, and pseudoscientist, claimed that human consciousness could affect the molecular structure of water. He wrote a book in 2004 called The Hidden Messages in Water, which was a New York Times bestseller. In the book, he describes the fact that water could react to positive thoughts and words, and that polluted water could be cleaned through prayer and positive visualization. So do you pray to your water before you drink it, Cleet?
Dude, it's not woo-woo. I've read the studies.
Yeah?
Yeah, you would freeze water.
Yeah, we're getting to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shut up, Cleet.
Sorry.
Now, I haven't read the book, so I can't really get into the whole thing, but from what I found online, it has to do with the vibrations, and the different forms of water also have different personality characteristics depending on where it came from and the types of energy it was around, such as the water that came from the forest compared to water that came from a city, so on and so forth. According to some sources, when testing his theory, he had 2 glasses of water, one that he treated nicely. He wined and dined it, gave some pretty light petting, etc.
Pretty sure he fucked it.
And the other he loathed and screamed at it and he cheated on it and smacked it around a bit. And then when he froze them, they displayed very different characteristics. At its core, it begs the question of the sentience of water and the importance it has on the very basis of life. I mean, we're all mostly water, so it kind of makes you wonder. But like you said, like There's actually studies done where he would freeze it after treating them differently and exposing them to different environments, and they did have a different makeup when they were frozen.
Pretty interesting. It's
kind of interesting.
You're 80% water, Britain, so maybe get all that hate out of your heart.
Nah, I live in hate. I'm seething all the fucking time.
All right, this one is self-burying hoses.
Cool.
Definitely a scary one, so buckle up. This may seem like an absurd thing to be concerned about, but nobody's been able to come up with a satisfactory explanation behind why in 1955, all over the United States, garden hoses started burrowing nozzle first into the ground.
What the fuck? There's no way. There's no way. The hose is like, I'm out of here.
One of the first reported incidents came from Downey, California.
It would be California.
At the home of George.
George DePeso.
Yeah, George DePeso. DePeso's daughter was watering the garden when she set the hose down. Bizarrely, it started sinking into the earth until nearly 20 feet of it was underground, and George had to cut it off to stop its motion.
Good Lord. I don't know what I would do. You're like watering the lawn, it's like
like a
burrowing into the ground.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Nope.
And you can't pull it out. Apparently. Similar cases were reported in Florida, Kansas, New York, and Michigan. Some scientists speculate that the water pressure created a vacuum that pulled the hoses into loose soil, but they couldn't duplicate the effect when asked. I went and found a story on this from Cody Joe on Reddit.
Hey, Cody Joe.
He says, okay, story time. I honestly had forgotten about this because I just figured it was some sort of thing that could be explained, and I just didn't look into it anymore. But when I was a kid, around 9 or 10, and playing outside with the water hose, which my parents let me do because we had a well, so the water didn't cost anything. Anyways, being a dumb kid, I pushed the hose into the ground, and it was really easy. In fact, the water stopped coming back up out of the hole, and the hose started moving down slowly itself. I had it on for maybe an hour or so.
Good God.
With no water coming back up out of the hole, and it had sucked itself in pretty far, and it would not let me pull it back out. My dad actually had to cut it off, and that was that. I learned not to stick hoses into the ground and never really thought of it again.
I learned my lesson there.
I never did it again.
I never put a hose down again.
Until I was watching a YouTube video recently, and it was brought up as basically being a phenomenon of some sort. I always figured there was some sort of explanation for it, but now that I know that there's not, I'm not sure what to think.
He saw this video, he's like, holy shit, it threw him right back to his childhood. He's like, that fucking hose, man, just went right down.
I never saw that hose again. The next one is blood and soil effects of wars. Huh. This was a specific propaganda pushed by the Nazi Party in the 1920s to seize more power. They essentially villainized the ruling elites in Germany at the time and spoke of the importance of the farmers, specifically being the lifeblood of Germany. These people were originally considered peasants by the current standards, but this worldview of glorifying them was known as the blood and soil. And we all know what happened after that specifically party seized power.
Yeah, don't we all?
So this one's actually one of my favorites. Cigarettes and extreme health benefits.
Oh, hell yeah. Totally real.
Just jacked. I just start smoking. I come in jacked.
Man, you look really good. What'd you do? I started smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, just a whole carton a day.
So the DARE program is full of shit, is what you're telling me?
I thought they said yes dare to you cigarettes. To smoke.
I dare you to smoke this. You are going to be so ripped.
One of the most respected researchers in the field, Dr. Paul Newhouse, director of Vanderbilt University Center of Cognitive Medicine, argues that nicotine seems very safe even in non-smokers. In our studies, we find it actually reduces blood pressure chronically, and there were no addictions or withdrawal problems, and nobody started smoking cigarettes. The risk of addiction to nicotine alone is virtually nil.
Oh, wow.
Tobacco has also been considered harmful because it is highly addictive, but whether nicotine has the same addictive potential remains unclear. According to Dr. Newhouse, nicotine by itself isn't very addictive at all. It seems to require assistance from other substances found in tobacco to get people hooked. Nicotine affects many systems in the body, including the brain, the pituitary hormones, sex hormones, thyroid hormones, and adrenal functioning. This is not necessarily a bad thing, which is where the questions of the harms of nicotine gets confusing. On the one hand, nicotine stimulates the body to produce an abundance of adrenal hormones, which can, in turn, lead to insulin sensitivity and put some people at risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. On the other hand, nicotine can help heal the brain by stimulating neurotransmitters that can induce growth in cognition, memory, and learning. The new research into potential medical benefits of nicotine has certainly been gaining momentum and seems worthy of further exploration. Research has shown that nicotine can provide pain relief, grow new blood vessels, and help treat Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, depression, schizophrenia, and address other mental and physical health problems. The cigarette itself has a ton of chemicals in it that make you addicted, but nicotine actually isn't one of them, and Big Pharma is trying to hide the fact that nicotine can actually have very good health benefits on things that are chronic conditions, to where you have to pay somebody a lot of money to get prescriptions, where you can maybe just get nicotine at a cheaper value. Interesting.
Wow. Kind of like marijuana.
Maybe.
All right. So my first one, pastimes iceberg is mostly real. Dumbest fucking thing I've ever found, because I didn't find anything on it. Apparently this doesn't exist, because no matter how much I researched it, I could not find a goddamn thing about it. According to Wendigoon, again, credit where it's due, which I looked at, he couldn't find anything either, and the creator of the iceberg that we're covering gave him a very vague description, but that was it. So we have basically a dead fucking theory. In light of that, I'm going to speculate and guess that there's an iceberg out there,
Reckless speculation.
much like this one, that details pastimes. I'm probably way wrong, and if anyone out there knows, write in and let us know. Please and thanks. entertheabysspod@gmail.com. Anyway, secret human organs.
May cause internal bleeding if you send a message.
I know that was kind of like a warning issue, right? Secret human organs. This one's fun. First, let's think of evolution, shall we? As we've evolved, we've become better suited for survival over the centuries. This theory plays on that and suggests that the human body contains secret organs that are being kept from us.
Yes.
I mean, why haven't we seen any new organs in the past several hundred years to help us combat some of the diseases and ailments we've seen? Why not? If evolution's a thing, why are we not getting new organs? Well, this theory says that we are, but, you know, doctors and science is preventing us from knowing about them, because if we know that they exist, if we know about their potential, it makes us stronger, more in line with fighting diseases and stuff, you know.
They just take it out of you, huh?
Yeah. So they just say, hey, you know, you don't have anything.
You don't need that third liver.
Right? You actually have 16 eyeballs. They're just all in your ass. But forget about it.
Noses and tongues.
Oh, damn. Your butt can actually eat. You just don't use it the way it's supposed to. So anyway, that's the secret human organs. And then last, iceberg knowledge and iceberg psyops. Lots of actual iceberg theories on the iceberg here. Essentially, this is just another retreading of prior discussed information, as this theory suggests that icebergs, including this very one we're talking about, for fucking ever, purposefully have incorrect information to keep us occupied while the real shit happens. Much like the parrot theory we talked about not long ago, as well as other sleight of hand tactics used by those in power, they give us a list of crazy shit to talk about behind some fucking microphones while the real shit happens elsewhere. So, purposefully inaccurate information on the icebergs to keep us all happy.
It's all a psyop.
It is. And we're contributing to it firsthand. You're welcome, people. Please subscribe. That's my 3.
All right. The next one is top of mountains. Many people believe that a grid of Earth energies circle the globe, connecting important and sacred sites such as Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, and the Great Wall of China.
Oh, you mean ley lines?
Ley lines, correct. If you plot these and other sites on a map, a curious thing becomes apparent. Many of them can be connected by straight lines. Were these monuments and sacred sites specifically built at those locations by ancient people with lost knowledge of unknown Earth energies?
Yes.
Especially strong along these ley lines? People have often found special significance in the unusual landmarks and geological features surrounding them. High mountains and peaks and majestic valleys tend to lie on ley lines, and they have in the past been viewed as sacred. It is said that if you wander these mountains, you may find yourself across what is called fairy paths, which is considered unsafe, as you could run across fairies or other interdimensional beings like Bigfoot, who would not take kindly to human interruption.
Where are these lines?
Maybe this is why humans go missing in the wilderness.
Oh, 401 tie-in.
411.
411 tie-in.
The next one is organs decalcification. It was only until 1997, a good 50 years after fluoride started being added to the tap water in the USA, that a British scientist named Jennifer Luke discovered that fluoride accumulates to a strikingly high levels in the pineal gland. In many spiritual books/ideologies, the pineal gland is an integral part with our connection with the beyond. It is said that the ruling elites want our spiritual energy starved so that we are more focused on consumerism and just buying material things. This theory believes that we should find ways to avoid fluoride and attempt to decalcify the pineal gland in order to become more connected with, our spirituality. I can say it, Jesus, I don't even know. But that's it.
Nice. Okay.
And this is actually my favorite fucking one from the entire.
Hey.
So I love this next one. It's solar plexus clown gliders.
What?
Solar plexus clown gliders.
What?
Solar plexus clown gliders.
What?
Anyways, solar plexus clown gliders, SPCG, is a collective name given to a broad range of paranormal phenomena attributed to the corruptive entity that infects weak and vulnerable people through the solar plexus chakra. Originally used by the 80s New Age practitioners, the phenomena were linked to a horror-themed email forwardable in the late 90s, which claimed that simply reading or hearing the words solar plexus clown glider, guys, made one susceptible to infection.
Holy shit, you said it like 7 times.
I did it on purpose.
Did you just give us all cancer or something?
No, you're going to get possessed.
Holy shit.
Others claimed that I'm being infected. Others claim that one became infected through viewing a set of spooky black and white images circulating online. Rather than a material cryptid, SPCG is ephemeral and operates at a level of language. It makes itself known through images and words. The SPCG appears to feed off human misery, bombarding its host human with realistic hallucinations, glitches in reality, and weakening them emotionally. They then simply drive the host beyond their fullest capacity for psychological pain. The sickness that comes from SPCG contact is described as similar to meth addicts experiencing of withdrawal paranoia symptoms.
Lord.
Up to and including near constant full-body hallucinatory experiences and actual psychosis. The reported effects are also similar to delirium states.
That one's wild.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say it one more time. Solar plexus clown gliders. I'll make sure I have a picture in there that is supposed to be tied to that. And that should sound a little bit familiar to the movie Sinister, everybody.
I love Sinister. Best horror film there is.
And that's my 3.
Nice. All right. Okay. Skin is an alien parasite. Say it again. Skin is an alien parasite.
Damn you, skin. Just take it off, dude. Just take it off.
So the name gives this one away, folks. Long ago, if this theory is to be believed, us humans were nothing more than muscle and bone.
They were just blood and organs.
Basically everything but our skin. That was until an alien parasite merged with us, forming what we know of as our skin. It can go deeper in theory with suggesting its similarity with our spiritual and physical body, and that the two merged together, realizing that they could survive as a pair rather than alone.
Some type of symbiote.
Yeah.
Some type of carnage or some type of venom grabbed us.
Yeah. There's your Marvel tie-in, folks. Honestly, it's silly no matter how you spin this one, but your skin is an alien. You're welcome.
Deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Every time
it's
you're...
It's fucking skin, man.
I don't want to say...
Yeah, go ahead. Don't hold back.
No, never mind. I'm done. Go.
You do a masturbation joke?
It was. You're touching an alien.
I was going to say, man. We're on the same brainwave.
Every time you're touching yourself, you're touching an alien.
Every time you're yanking the skin flute, you're pulling on aliens. All right. Yeah, see? Bros. Okay. AntiMedicine. Medicine. The good stuff to make us feel better when we're sick, take away our aches and pains, perform better in bed, you name it. But what if medicine was actually making us worse? That's what this theory suggests. Some think that medicine was created to make us more reliant on it, so we keep coming back. Cough, cough, big pharma.
Well, you could talk about like benzos, right? Benzos are almost designed to where if you ever take them that you become addicted.
Yeah. It ties into other theories, such as them keeping certain cures away from us as well. But the basic idea is that medicine doesn't help. It hurts. I mean, I think Like, I'm not going to play into it, but like, you know, people do build a reliance on medication after a while. And you like, that's why if you ever stop at cold turkey, man, you get fucked up.
Or they have like certain side effects.
Like a list of them. You ever watch a commercial? Use this product, you could have bloody diarrhea, death.
Loss of scrotum.
Loss of scrotum? It just falls right off. Loss of scrotum. Loss of eyesight. Your alien won't depart from your body.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. And it's like a 30-second high-speed rambling of 500 things.
I just wish I was
you take this medication,
happy.
You could die.
I wish I was as happy as those people in the drug commercials.
Yeah. What if they knew they could take it and they could drop dead any moment?
Hi. I have genital warts. They're like on the beach with like a dog and just like supermodel
They're
girlfriend.
throwing a tennis ball out there. I haven't been able to sit for 4 years because I have hemorrhoids.
Like that's like a normal conversation you would have with somebody on the beach.
Welcome to my barbecue. I have psoriasis. Let's make some burgers today, folks. They're always happy. You're right. It's like they're dancing around, or they're like overly melancholy, like they're just sitting in the corner and like their skin's bright red and it's flaking off and everyone's dancing around. I'm like, ha, loser.
What the fuck are you watching, bro?
I don't know, man. It was there, I promise. Okay, last one, silicon beings.
Sure.
Silicon beings, right? This took a little bit of digging, but from what I was able to find, the theory here is that silicon-based life forms can exist. Science fiction has been around for a long time, and with it brings all sorts of ideas and worlds with endless possibilities. Certain science fiction works, including Star Trek, featuring silicon-based life like the rock-eating Horta. Francis Arnold, a senior author of this study, said, and I quote, "My feeling is that if a human being can coax life to build bonds between silicon and carbon, nature can do it too." This theory is mainly focused on the idea that alien life forms that are silicon-based exist outside of our planet, but that it's possible. Carbon and silicon are chemically very similar, and that silicon atoms can also each form bonds with up to 4 other atoms simultaneously, and silicon is one of the most common elements in the universe. So, again, the idea is that silicon can then be merged with other bonds to create a silicon-based life form.
Killer robots.
Also, you know, all of your sex toys that are silicon are life forms, so be careful what you do with them. They will remember. They will remember.
All right.
It's just like, all right.
Noted.
Yeah, so just remember your silicon toys, they have a life form of their own, so.
You're going to robot court, you sick son of a bitch.
Exactly. All right, that's my 3.
All right, this next one.
It's a mystery.
This next one is original Earth. This is the idea that Earth isn't the first one.
What?
Like every year, a new model of a car comes out. Sometimes the Earth needs to be remade.
What model of Earth are we?
The idea stems from gap Earth theory, in which God makes an Earth, puts humans on it, and eventually over time they'll destroy and kill each other, similar to what we read about in the book of Revelation.
Wow.
After the extinction of the human race, God just creates another Earth, and the infinite cycle goes on forever. Ad infinitum.
Wow. So he's up there like, yeah, I wonder how long these fuckers are going to take to wipe themselves out. I've got another planet, and this one's going to have pink elephants.
Oh, maybe, you know.
Man, to be God and just make planets for people.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool, you know.
I'd do it.
Would you?
Oh, yeah. Create worlds. But I would be like, hey.
I would troll too much. I wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you shouldn't be able to
I couldn't
create
help
worlds.
myself. I'd be like, I don't know what I would do to troll it, but I would troll it in some certain way. I don't know.
It's just like a city that's just a constantly tornado. You're constantly dropping people in there.
I would make air a hallucinogen. That's probably
it. Is. Air's a drug. We talked about this last time.
All right. The next one, I actually was a little bit intrigued, and I think I found gold for future episodes. It's called Meat Stations and Meat Trading, parentheses, do not search. And I searched it.
Oh. So you're telling us not to search, but we're the experts. We can search this.
I found a depository of interesting information that...
Found a suppository of meat?
Yeah, you just put right up, right?
Okay. Anyway.
Anyways, that we can cover hundreds of new episodes with.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll show you sometime. Has nothing to do with meat stations.
Okay.
It just led me to a specific site that was a treasure trove of information.
Oh. I mean, my curiosity is piqued, to say the least.
So this theory states that there is a large market that is centered around selling, trading, and consuming human meat.
Oh.
In other words, is a cannibal market. There have always been cannibals throughout time, and I'm sure that there are desperate, starving people even today that may become cannibalistic. But where this theory gets weird is it states that the humans are kept on farms after being sold into human trafficking.
Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer.
They are injected with chemicals, just like cattle would. These farms are said to be in Southeast Asia. So the theory goes on to speculate, why is there such a large demand for human meat? Now, we could only assume that it's got to be at least a small market outside of maybe local areas that are starving. The conclusion drawn is that it would be aliens,
Elites.
like the lizard people that live amongst us, which is very presumptuous.
very, very much so.
Or
That live among us. Good God. What now?
Or the ruling elites with a particular appetite for human flesh.
Oh. Yeah, that's not a new theory. Those are people that live amongst us.
The last one I'll be talking about is world wraps. This is the world wraps. This is the idea that the universe is infinite, but not in the way you might think. If we were to think of a game like Pac-Man, this would solidify the concept pretty easily. Once you exit the tunnel on the right side of the map, you'll wind up entering the left side.
Yeah.
The theory states the universe is not infinite, but wrapped like that. Although it still may be huge, we are ultimately looking at ourselves while looking out.
Wow. Okay. So does that play into like flat Earth? You get to the end and...
I don't think there's necessarily a flat Earth aspect. There's even like ideas in physics that the universe is a sphere, that it is really massive, but there's a slight curvature to it. And if you were just to keep traveling, you would go into a sphere, like a bubble, sort of.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about something called smart dust. Smart dust is a system of many tiny microelectromechanical systems, or MEMS, like sensors or robots or other devices basically resembling dust that can detect light, temperature, vibration, magnetism, or chemicals. The basic idea is that they can be distributed over an area to perform tasks. I mean, it's a bunch of fucking little robots that look like dust. The concept was created from a workshop at RAND in 1992 due to potential military applications of the technology. It was never actually created and the project stopped. Or did it? If that were the case, then it wouldn't be on this iceberg. Now, would it? Theorists suggest that it was created and is very much so an active thing that the government puts into our food and drinks as another form of mind control. All of us are sleeper agents and can at any time be activated with this smart dust that is coursing through our veins at all times. Microorganism dust.
What happens if you snort it?
You have some bad things happen and can be controlled.
Your penis falls off.
Probably. Okay, secret gates. We get to talk about Agartha again, along with several other theories like the forest stairs and mysterious temples inside of caves and demolition elves, because it all ties back to this theory right here, stating that all around us there are gates to the realms that we couldn't, or better yet, shouldn't have access to. So the next time you see something that you feel you shouldn't be able to see, the odds are you probably are experiencing a secret gate, or that you're on a shitload of drugs. Either one is possible.
The old flesh gate.
But there's, so gates all around that will transcend you to another parallel universe or another dimension or something, but that's like the gates are all over the place and we just kind of associate them with like, oh, that's really fucking weird. But it's a gate.
In this universe, all the unicorns are just male horses.
Yeah. With a dildo strapped on their forehead.
No, it's their penis.
Oh. Okay. Anyway. Golf rumors. And this one came with a trigger warning, or a caution warning that literally said use caution. So I was like, okay, what the fuck am I getting into here? And with us being on the iceberg of conspiracy theories, I was very cautious when looking into it. At the very root of this theory, it suggests that the PGA, or Professional Golf Association, I believe is what it's called, that the PGA in the United States is a cover-up for some evil stuff and that it's all a front to keep us preoccupied. Theorists state that because PGA typically draws in politicians and elitists as well as millions of dollars, it's just an avenue of distraction. There are some cryptic posts online that say, do not look for golf rumors, do not talk about golf rumors, do not start threads about golf rumors, and search at your own detriment. I mean, what is this, fucking Fight Club? Anyway, that's where we'll end that, because I guess that this theory can go way deeper, and I think that we're good there. But essentially, the PGA is a big cover-up for some not good stuff.
I really want to look into that now. Jesus.
You should, but you'll probably end up on some kind of list.
Yeah.
And you'll have more sketchy individuals. Yeah, with this whole thing.
All I know is a school bus pulls up to my house at 3 a.m. every night.
That's weird, man.
A clown in it saying, "Get in."
I've got puppies.
Get in the bus.
I've got beer.
Get in the bus. I got beer and crack. And
you had me at crack.
All right. The next one is Robert Goff rumors, glass camera, and it says in parentheses, even more caution advised.
Oh, it's more golf rumors. This one has Robert in front of it, though.
Got to have more caution here.
Okay. Did you use extreme caution?
No.
Okay.
I literally copied and
pasted. He just threw caution.
Yeah.
He just
and I put it in.
He took out the extreme caution.
Every search browser I could, or every search tool.
Good for you.
Yeah. The glass camera project was the clandestine effort by the CIA and the FBI in the 90s to create truly non-detectable surveillance tools, particularly a camera and microphone system. Now, according to classical theories of physics, this should not be possible, as you need something to absorb light to record it, and the absorption of light makes it visible. It's the same reason a fully invisibility cloak would make anybody using it blind, at least in theory. It's believed, however, that using their research into remote viewing and physical projection, the CIA was able to train humans to not only remotely perceive a subject, but also project this information to a camera with the person to create an objective recording of the event. But the camera doesn't just record something, it's an integral part of the viewing technique and allows viewers to channel their focus and view images to a much greater degree through traditional remote viewing means. It is believed that the sheer psychic energy to accomplish this goal puts immense strain on the viewer's body, which almost always results in the death after chronic viewing experiences. In addition, remote viewing is known to cause increased mental degradation and dissociation disorders in the viewer. Because of this, it's highly suspected that glass camera operators were actually abducted by the CIA and forced to participate, or were lied to about the true nature and the risks of their projects. One of the people suspected of having fallen victim to this fate was Robert Goff, a somewhat prominent psychic from the 1980s that disappeared overnight and is practically unheard of today. The rumors are speculation on what may become of him, and one of the main ones is that he was abducted by the American government for use in the various PSYOP projects, including glass camera.
Interesting. I'd never heard of that before.
The next one is pyramids were built by the Templars Order. Templars Order are the Crusaders put together by the Catholic Church during the Crusades. This theory states that Templars are the spiritual descendants of the Masons. The Masons believed to be founded by Solomon during the construction of the Temple in Jerusalem. King Solomon was said to know secrets from the past of an advanced but wiped out human civilization. Those Templars, after learning the secrets during the temple's construction, spread out around the world and built other things, and at one point found Egypt and helped build the pyramids. When it comes to the pyramids, the modern lens has seen the intricacy of the pyramids and had trouble reconciling the engineering available at the time. Some conspiracy theorists point to aliens having helped build the pyramids, but this theory thinks it's the secret group of the Templars that had advanced engineering learned from the Solomon trade that helped build the pyramids, and that's it. It's pretty interesting.
I think it's still, they used dinosaurs to build the pyramids.
Now they use dynamite, toilet paper.
And aliens, toilet paper. What the fuck are you on about?
Last theory here is the endless elevator. This is a phenomenon reported by urban explorers. Supposedly, they had stumbled upon elevator shafts that seemed to extend well beyond the basement of the building that they were exploring. People have mapped out these areas, and apparently there is at least 500 in the world of existence.
They just go straight down to Agartha.
Could this be an extension to Agartha?
Holy shit.
This could explain why cryptids show up from time to time and vanish into thin air.
Bigfoot's just like, here's my elevator.
And it could also explain why people in the cities disappear as well. Maybe you just fall down an elevator to hell or Agartha.
We need to play the elevator game, which we talked about way early on. You were like elevator, like level 13 to, I don't know the fucking order.
And then we die.
Yeah. On a good day.
That's my 3.
Okay. Divinity's playing a card game. Are our lives just a card game? This theory would have you believe that that's the case. Imagine all the godly figures sitting at a poker table with drinks and cigars, playing a game of cards that determine what happens, and we are just the pawns. Things like natural disasters and plagues and extinction events could all be due to a bad hand being dealt. This just reminds me of that scene from Men in Black when all the aliens are playing marbles at the end, and one of the marbles is our solar system.
Those bastards.
Sort of like that. You know, Jesus and Odin and Freya and all others sitting around a table playing cards that are our lives. Just a fun thought. So our whole life is just a card game by the gods, just to,
I'd like to
pass
imagine
some time.
All the gods are dogs at a table.
Yeah, that was actually kind of brought up.
Smoking some cigarettes.
That picture of the dogs at the poker table. Yeah, that was brought up. Okay, next is trees are mammals.
Is that true? Huh?
Yeah, you heard that right. Trees are mammals. At least this theory suggests so. Finding anything on this was tough, but what I was able to piece together states that a very long time ago, trees and mammals did share a certain branch together and eventually broke off to become their own.
Did they share a branch, Britton?
Yeah, shared a branch, wink, wink. I don't know what the fuck that means, but apparently they were one and the same, and then they just said, fuck it, we can't be the same thing. You go be an animal, I'm going to be a fucking tree.
One of them leaved.
One of them... That's not even proper English, but it works in this situation, so I'll give you a pass. One of them leaved? Jesus Christ, what are we? What are we doing here? There are other theories that play into this, that trees communicate with each other. There's actual studies that they do, and would explain why a lot of phenomena happen in forests, and that it could be due to trees and not some evil entity that lives in the forest, like the Wendigo. Could just be that it's actually the fucking trees that are doing it. Basically, the root of this theory suggests that trees may be something more than we understand. It's a fucking mammal. So when you're deforesting everything, you're cutting down a bunch of mammals.
I like to hear them scream.
Fuck. Yeah, right? Slowly taking the axe to them, and every scream, they're like, ah! Okay, time and history moves in reverse. Otherwise known as retrocausality or backwards causation is the idea that cause and effect might work in the reverse order. Everything we do has an effect, whether that be good or bad or somewhere in between. For example, if you forget to water your lawn for a while, it will die and look like shit. But this theory suggests that your lawn was supposed to look like shit. And because it's supposed to look like shit, you were intended to stop watering your lawn, so you stop watering your lawn as a means to make it look like shit. Every event in history, according to this theory, has been preordained and isn't an effect based on something that was done, but rather an ending point in which we had to meet certain criteria to make that happen. So everything is already played out, but what's actually the root cause of it is how do we get to that point? So your lawn looks like shit because you were supposed to stop watering it and you did, and ta-da, you have a fucking eyesore.
Everyone does their job in the end.
Everyone does their fucking job.
It doesn't even matter.
And
you didn't get the Linkin Park reference.
No, I didn't. Wait. Oh, Linkin Park. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was mumbling on. And due to some fuck up with the list, I'm going to do my fourth one, and then we'll wrap up with Cleats 3, and then we'll have to come back to some others. But the last one I'll talk about is the Math Vault of Trinidad. So I had to piece this one together again because not a lot of information was in one place, and it was extremely sparse. But supposedly, there's a cave somewhere in Trinidad, and in this cave, the walls are covered with a bunch of seemingly random numbers and equations. These equations may look like random gibberish and scrambles to a normal person, but theorists state that if you are an quote-unquote enlightened individual with a higher sense, you could make out the numbers to ultimately solve the equation, which would grant you access to this sacred math vault. What's inside the vault, no one knows, so it's all speculation. Maybe it's full of a bunch of secret, sacred information that no one should have access to. Maybe it's a high-end cocktail lounge for the lizard people.
Ooh.
Or a way to talk to aliens.
I'll have one blood, please. O positive.
Right? It's all a fucking mystery. So, if you like math, you like Trinidad, go and figure it out. Tell us what happens. Tell us what's in this vault.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up on the last three here. It's the first one is regurgitation. Regurgitation rituals.
Hey.
This is a pagan ritual where you eat something and throw it back up in order to cleanse yourself in a spiritual and physical sense. Practitioners will use specific foods when doing this to fix specific spiritual and physical ailments. Where it gets crazy is it is believed that certain foods have more of a powerful essence.
Like people.
People being the tantamount form of pure power, which is why aliens or the world elites will eat people and throw it back up.
Nice.
You just like walk into some rich person's house. You're like, wow, why does it smell like puke? Run away.
Yeah.
Run away now. Why did they invite me here? Why are we friends? I don't even know.
You see someone just eat a bunch of shit and then immediately throw it back up, you're probably in the presence of some cultist. So
yeah. I got invited here when I went to the PGA Tour. And what's going on?
Tonight for dinner, we eat it really quickly and then you must throw it up. It must not stay in your organs.
Hook operators. This is another theory based off a book. This said book written by Barbara O'Brien and is called Operators of Things and describes the life of a schizophrenic. Basically, she details waking up one morning, living in a world populated by operators, which are people who are the embodiment of someone in complete control. They are working on some secret plan and pulling at all the strings behind the stage to make all the things happen. From what I gathered, the whole hook idea is a literal look on someone being hooked and then controlled. The operators are basically the charismatic people of the world who can get people to listen and do it as they are asked. A form of some mind control bullshit that we have all talked about so many times now. Again, the book is a descent into schizophrenia and the fears they have of the world and their description of what they see, hear, and feel. I honestly wouldn't mind reading it. And the last one is Regenerative Death Consumption.
That's a fucking mouthful.
This is like the regurgitation. I can't fucking do shit.
Holy shit, dude.
Shut up.
I feel especially bad for you today.
This is like regurgitation rituals and are contrived from the belief that the soul and body are connected versus separate entities. Thus, when eating the dead, the original soul residing in the dead body becomes attached to you.
It's a Wendigo.
To push this even further, ancient people thought that if they ate dead bodies of relatives or strangers, you could gain their power, experiences, and remaining lifespan.
Only if you fucking throw it right back up again.
Well, no, not part of this theory. So if you want to live forever, eat as many people as you can.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, talking about the whole regurgitation thing and that one, like, if word gets out that you can become more fucking powerful by eating people,
would you do it?
Gyms are going to lose a lot of people, man.
Yeah, are you going to, would you eat people?
I would eat people.
Really?
No, God,
Bro.
No. I would not eat people. That's disgusting.
Bro.
No. I mean, look, if it cured all my ailments, I'd think about it.
We all know who's doing it, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That
guy doesn't age at all.
You baby-eating bastard.
Baby-eating bastard. Well, hey, that brings us to the end of episode 1, or part 1, I should say, of Tier 9. So we've got one more part.
And then Tier 0.
And then Tier 0, which we can tackle probably in one episode. And then we're done with this fucking iceberg.
All right.
It's been so long. How long have we been doing this
Years.
For? So long. All right. Well, as we wrap up this episode, again, another huge thank you to our subscribers, which I will have their names in just a moment when Cleet figures out how to pull them up for me.
I'm going to murder you.
A huge thank you to our active subscribers, Supernatural Tessa. Again, thank you very much for joining us. Modelo Time, Mothman, Devon C, and Conklin family, and Lou. 6 subscribers that help us every single month. And again, if you want to help us support the show, we'll post our link in the description on YouTube. Every dollar helps. Again, we've got a lot of fun stuff we want to do, video being the biggest part of it. With our call to 500 subscribers, we're going to be going to the Clown Motel and filming the whole thing so you can watch it all unfold as we do our crazy shenanigans there. So thank you very much for joining us.
I guess that'll be like our face reveal too. So
yeah. Well, I'm sure people have kind of figured it out with our names and stuff.
Nah, man.
Probably not.
No one cares that much.
But yeah, the big face reveals. You'll get to look at our ugly faces from then on when we get some camera stuff going.
All right. So if you're
This has been the shortest iceberg. We're only at 56 minutes.
I'm not mad about it. Okay. All right. So if you guys are listening to us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, we got to get about 170 more subs before we do the clown episode. And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.